Good day to all of you. I'm John Paul C. Rizada, the host in this talk show. And I would like to introduce all the participants in the show. I prepared some questions that the participants may answer. But before we proceed, let me give you some short review about our topic. Francisco de Sande's letter to Esteban Rodriguez de Figueroa. In the Philippines, there are people called Moros in the island, which means native Muslims. Moros are the people who live in the Hulu Sulu. They adopted the religion of Islam, which flourished and arrived in the Philippines by way of trade in the 14th century. While Spanish had the most challenging time in subduing Mindanao, they want to colonize the Moros and stop the spread of Islam. Some Spanish successes were won, but mostly the victories belong to the skilled Moro fighters in defending their lands and belief. And now, I'm done introducing the short review. Let the participants answer the following questions that I prepared. So, let's welcome the first participants. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
So, good day.
Good day, sir.
I prepared some questions and I hope you will answer it clearly. So first, what were the early Spanish perceptions of the Moros in the Philippines?
The early Spanish perception of the Moros in the Philippines was largely influenced by the combination of religious, cultural, and political factors. The term Moros was used by the Spanish to refer the Muslim inhabitants of the southern Philippines, who were predominantly of Malay and Arab descent. From the perspective of the Spanish, who were Catholics, the Moros were seen as infidels or non-believers due to their practice of Islam. This religious difference led to the perception of the Moros as the threat of spread of Christianity and the dominance of the Catholic Church in the Philippines. The Spanish viewed that for the conversion of the Moros of Catholicism as the necessary goal and attempted to bring them under the Spanish control and influence.
So, thank you. Second question. How did the introduction of Islam impact the indigenous people in the Philippines?
The introduction of Islam developed a distinct Islamic art and architecture in the Philippines.
Okay, thank you. Question. Why did the Spanish find it challenging to subdue Mindanao and what were their motivation for doing so?
Subduing Mindanao was difficult for the Spanish because of the island's geography, the presence of Muslims, and the decentralized political structure. And the Spanish wanted to conquer Mindanao for economic and religious reasons.
Thank you. That's all. Thank you for participating in this talk show. So, the next participants will be the second participants. So, let's welcome them. Let's come in. Have a seat. Good morning, ma'am, sirs.
Good morning.
Sir. So, I prepared some questions that you may have answered. First question. In Governor Sande's letter, what were the main objectives and strategies outlined for Captain Figueroa expedition to Hulu and Mindanao?
So, Governor Sande's main objective for Captain Figueroa's expedition to Hulu and Mindanao were likely to entire around establishing the Spanish influence, securing in territories and suppressing any potential threats or resistance from local population. The specific strategies would have included military tactics, diplomatic efforts, and potentially alliance with local groups of leaders to achieve these objectives. For precise details, you would need to refer to the content of Governor Sande's letter, which isn't available near current knowledge is.
Okay, thank you. Second question. How did the Spanish approach negotiations and diplomacy with the Moro people in the context of trade and trade? The Spanish approach to negotiation
diplomacy with the Moro people in the conflict trade and tribute was complex and multifaceted during the Spanish colonial period in the Philippines, which began in the late 16th century. Interaction with the Moro communities in the southern island were characterized by combination of military, by campaigns, political alliances, and economic exchange.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful answer, sir. Last question. What were the implications of trying civilize and convert the Moro to Christianity as mentioned in the letter?
So, if we're trying to civilize and convert Moros to Christianity, it has a significant implication. It led to cultural clashes, resistance, and violence in the Philippines, particularly in Mindanao.
That's all? Okay, thank you, thank you. Please, thank you for participating in this show, ma'am, first. Thank you, sir. So, they are done giving their opinion. So, let's proceed to the next participant. So, let's proceed to the next participant. Please come in. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Good morning. Same as the previous group, I prepared some questions that you have to answer. I hope you will answer it clearly. So, first question. What ethical and moral dilemmas do you see the Spanish approach to dealing with the Moro people?
During the colonial period, the Spanish approach to the Moro people forced ethical dilemmas, such as forced religious conversion, violence, cultural suppression, land disputes, economic exploitation, human rights violation, and the responsibility of colonial powers towards indigenous populations, which continues to subject the true historical and ethical scrutiny.
Such a wonderful answer. So, the second question is, how did religious belief and cultural differences influence the interactions between the two groups?
So, religious beliefs and cultural differences shape their perception of each other, and this ultimately led to a competition over the use of land and resources, with the Moros feeling they were treated unfairly.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful answer, sir, ma'am. Please. Thank you, thank you. Let the fourth participant give their opinion about the colonization of Spanish in the Philippines. Come here. Take a seat. Good morning. So, same as the previous group, I prepared some questions for you. First question. How did the Moro people respond to Spanish attempts of subjugation and conversion?
The Moro people initially resisted Spanish attempt of subjugation and conquisition. They engaged in various forms of resistance, including armed conflict and maintaining their distinct cultural practices and Islamic faith.
Okay, your last question. What role did piracy play in the interaction between the Spanish and the Moros as mentioned in the text?
So, piracy played a significant role in the interactions between the Spanish and the Moro people. During the period of the Spanish colonization in the Philippines, the Moros were known for their maritime skills and were involved in piracy and maritime raiding activities. These activities were a means of resistance against Spanish attempts to control their territories and convert them to Christianity.
Okay, thank you. I hope. Thank you for participating in the show, sir, ma'am. Fourth participants are done giving their opinion about the colonization of Spanish in the Moro Island. Thank you. Now, let's welcome the last participants for giving their opinion about the Spanish colonization in the Moro Island. Please come in, sir. Have a seat, have a seat. Good morning. Same as the previous group, I prepared some questions that you may have to answer. First question: what long-term consequences did Spanish colonization have on the Moro people in the Philippines as a whole?
The Moros retaliated with large plunder campaigns and enslaved the Filipino Christians after destroying their villages. That's all.
Okay, that's all. Thank you. Last question. How does the historical perspective provided in this text shape our understanding of the Philippines' complex history?
They serve as valuable sources of information that shades on the country's past tradition and cultural heritage. That's all.
That's all. Thank you for participating in the show, sir. Stand up. I hope I will see you next show. Thank you. So, all the participants have gave their opinion about the colonization of the Spanish in the Philippines. I hope you understand something about our topic for today's talk show. Thank you.